let me ask you something that might sting a little. Bitcoin crosses $100,000. The news goes crazy. Your phone is lighting up with notifications. And instead of feeling excited, you feel nervous. Instead of acting, you freeze. Why? Here's what's wild, and I mean genuinely statistically wild. In January 2026, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high above $108,000. And you know what happened to Google searches in the United States? Searches for "Is Bitcoin a scam?" spiked by over 300%. Not searches for "How to buy Bitcoin," searches for "Is it a scam?" People see the price go up, and they get more afraid. That is not rational behavior. That is a psychological trap. And today, we are blowing the lid off it, because that trap is costing regular Americans their financial future right now, in 2026, while the window is still open. Stay locked in. This one is going to change how you see money forever. The Fear Inversion. Empowering and uplifting with a steady, reassuring voice. The Fear Inversion. Why your brain works against you. Here's the brutal truth they never taught you in school, at your job, or at your family dinner table. Your brain is wired for survival, not for wealth. When something goes up in price rapidly, your primitive brain screams danger. It says, "This is too good to be true. Something is about to collapse. Run." It's called loss aversion. Nobel Prize-winning behavioral economists Kahneman and Tversky proved that the pain of losing money is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the same amount. So when Bitcoin surges, your brain doesn't register opportunity. It registers the potential pain of buying at the top and watching it fall, and it paralyzes you. Meanwhile, and I need you to hear this clearly, the people who already own Bitcoin, they're sitting back, drinking their coffee, and watching their net worth climb. That's the wealth gap in action. Not income, not opportunity, psychology. Now here's the data that should shake you awake. A 2025 Federal Reserve survey found that 72% of Americans have less than $1,000 in investable savings. 72%. At the same time, Bitcoin's compound annual growth rate over the past decade sits at approximately 150% per year. The S&P 500, the holy grail of traditional investing, averaged around 10%. You're afraid of the thing that's outperformed every single asset class on the planet for the last 10 years. Let that sit with you for a second. The 3 psychological traps keeping you broke. Let's name these traps specifically because you can't escape something you can't identify. Trap number 1, recency bias. This is where your brain gives more weight to the most recent event than to the long-term pattern. Bitcoin dropped from $69,000 to $16,000 in 2022. That crash is burned into people's memory. So even in 2026, with Bitcoin above 100K and institutional adoption at record highs, with BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF now holding over $50 billion in assets as of Q1 2026, your brain is still replaying 2022 like it's on a loop. You are making a 2026 decision with 2022 emotional data. That is not strategy, that is self-sabotage. Trap number 2, social proof paralysis. Here's a fun one. You won't buy Bitcoin because your coworker hasn't bought Bitcoin. Your uncle says it's risky. Your neighbor says wait. And so you wait. Together. Collectively broke. Real-world case study, Michael from Cincinnati, a warehouse supervisor making $52,000 a year, bought $200 worth of Bitcoin every single month starting in January 2020. No drama, no stress. By January 2026, that consistent strategy, what we call dollar cost averaging, turned roughly $14,400 in total contributions into over $87,000. His coworkers? Still waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There is only right strategy. Trap number 3, complexity avoidance. People think Bitcoin requires a computer science degree and a secret handshake, so they avoid it. Meanwhile, buying Bitcoin in 2026 is literally as simple as downloading a regulated app, Coinbase, Cash App, River, and purchasing $50 worth in under 3 minutes. The complexity is a myth that keeps you poor while others quietly accumulate. Actionable tip number 1, dollar cost average, not lump sum panic. Stop waiting for the perfect price. It doesn't exist. Instead, pick a fixed dollar amount, $25, $50, $100, and buy Bitcoin on the same day every single week or month. This strategy removes emotion from the equation entirely. You buy when it's up, you buy when it's down, and over time, the math works in your favor. This is wise money behavior, consistent, disciplined, and devastatingly effective. Section 3. Bitcoin in 2026, what the scared people are missing. Let's talk facts, not hype, facts. As of early 2026, Bitcoin's market cap has crossed $2 trillion. El Salvador has proven its Bitcoin legal tender experiment is generating real GDP growth. The US government, yes, the actual United States government, has begun exploring a strategic Bitcoin reserve following executive discussions in late 2025. More than 15 publicly traded American corporations now hold Bitcoin on their balance sheets, including MicroStrategy, which holds over 400,000 BTC. This is not fringe anymore. This is infrastructure. And while traditional savings accounts in America are still paying 4 to 5%, which sounds great until you realize real inflation is running higher, Bitcoin operates on a fixed supply of 21 million coins. That's it. Forever. Nobody can print more, no government, no central bank, no emergency committee at 2 a.m. That scarcity is the entire point. And that scarcity becomes more powerful as more dollars get printed. And that scarcity becomes more powerful as more dollars get printed. Actionable tip number 2, secure your stack before you stack. This is the one most beginners skip and then regret catastrophically. Before you invest a single dollar into Bitcoin, you need to understand custody. If your Bitcoin sits on an exchange and that exchange gets hacked or goes bankrupt, and yes, FTX already taught us that lesson the hard way in 2022, your Bitcoin is gone. Wise money rule: not your keys, not your coins. Once your Bitcoin investment grows beyond $1,000, move it to a hardware wallet. Ledger and Trezor are the 2 most trusted brands in 2026. It costs about $79. That $79 could protect thousands. Do not skip this step. This is non-negotiable. Fraud alert section. Watch out. All right, time to protect you, because the same Bitcoin surge that's creating wealth is also attracting the wolves. In 2025, the FBI reported that crypto-related fraud in the United States exceeded $5.6 billion in losses. The number 1 scam of 2026, what's called a pig butchering scheme. Here's how it works. A stranger connects with you online with a steady, reassuring voice. Here's how it works. A stranger connects with you online, sometimes romantically, sometimes professionally, builds your trust over weeks, then introduces you to a special crypto investment platform with incredible returns. You deposit money. The platform shows you fake profits. You try to withdraw. They demand fees. Then they vanish. Every single dollar gone. The red flags are simple. If someone you just met online is talking to you about Bitcoin investments, run. If a platform promises fixed weekly returns with no risk, run. If you cannot withdraw your money freely at any time, run. Protect your capital, because Bitcoin is a legitimate long-term wealth tool, but the scam ecosystem around it is vicious, and it targets people who are just starting to wake up financially. That's you. That's the person this channel is built for. So stay sharp. Actionable tip number 3, the 1% entry rule for beginners. If fear is your biggest obstacle, here is how you break through it without blowing up your financial life. Start with just 1% of your monthly take-home pay. If you bring home $3,000 a month, that's $30. That's it, $30. Buy $30 of Bitcoin this week, empowering and uplifting with a steady, reassuring voice. Buy $30 of Bitcoin this week and watch what it feels like to own a piece of the hardest money ever created. You will learn more from owning it than from watching 10 videos about it. Experience kills fear faster than information. Start small, stay consistent, scale with confidence. Here's the real question this video is asking you. Not should you buy Bitcoin. The real question is, who taught you to be afraid of your own financial freedom? Because somewhere along the line, through school systems built to create employees, through banks that profit from your ignorance, through a media that sells fear because fear gets clicks, you were taught that wealth is for other people, that investing is complicated, that you should just work hard and trust the system. And that system has 72% of Americans with less than $1,000 in savings, while inflation quietly eats what's left. Bitcoin is not a magic solution. It is not a shortcut. It is a strategic tool, the only asset in history with a mathematically fixed supply in a world of unlimited money printing. And in 2026, with institutional adoption exploding and sovereign governments entering the space, the window to position yourself is still open, but windows close. Fear is not protecting you, empowering and uplifting with a steady, reassuring voice. Fear is not protecting you. It is keeping you exactly where the broken system needs you to stay. So here's your move right now. Subscribe to Future Freedom 360. Turn on the notification bell. Drop a comment below. Tell me, I'm done being afraid. Because that comment, that's a commitment to yourself, and the community in this channel will hold you to it. The financial revolution, empowering and uplifting with a steady, reassuring voice. This is Wise Money. This is 360-degree thinking, and your future freedom starts right now.